Welcome to the Cocktail Club podcast with Cocktail Kompany. Today we are at this amazing venue, number 6 bar on the 30 best bars list, ZLB, a Kyoto style speakeasy bar in Leela Palace in Bangalore. And on this podcast today, we have a guest who is a legend. He is the most famous bartending icon in Japan, and we all look up to him. I'm actually kind of getting goosebumps that he is talking to me today on my podcast. Super happy. Welcome to the podcast, Hidetsugu Ueno San.
Oh, thank you.
Namaste. Welcome to India, welcome to Bangalore, and welcome to the Leela Palace.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. I think my first question to you is, can you tell us about your childhood and how did you discover bartending? What made you get into bartending?
Well, yes, to be honest, above my age, not much people wants to become a bartender.
Okay.
So as me.
Okay.
I never imagined I become a bartender when I was a child. Because I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol.
Oh, you don't drink alcohol? Wow.
Just tasting.
Okay.
Alcohol was to serve, enough for drinking.
Okay.
Maybe little glass of beer brings me heaven.
Okay.
So usually I'm pretty much sober.
Okay.
To make a long story short, I wanted to have my own coffee shop.
Okay.
Because I like to drinking coffees and stuff, and I was a coffee brewer.
Okay.
Filtered and siphons.
Okay.
Classic style in Japan.
Okay.
But in Japan, the customer in coffee shop, reading books, maybe doing this and that these days, and spending hours and hours and hours by one cup of coffee. So, that's it. Make my life.
Okay.
And one day I was like, maybe I should serve the alcohol.
Okay.
In my coffee shop. But I didn't know anything about alcohol business because I don't drink.
Okay.
I've never been to bars.
Okay.
Maybe some local izakaya style, having a little beer with friends and stuff, that's it.
Okay.
So I didn't know how to get a job or how to bartend and anything. So after university, I went to a bartender school for 1 month.
Okay.
Because I didn't know how to get a job.
Wow.
And I didn't know anything about alcohol.
Okay.
And usually you don't have to go to school, to be honest, but I just have no knowledge.
Okay.
Zero. So I just went to 1 month to ask the teacher to introduce the place to work.
Okay.
And after 10 years time, I started making drinks in one and only bar called the Star Bar Ginza, located. I was working.
Okay. How old were you there?
I was 31. I started my career 24.
Okay.
Because I was working as a coffee brewer after 2 years after high school.
Okay.
So I graduated 24. So start my career in 24. I was working for bottle service bar when I was 20s, which is so interesting. Not only cocktail bar, I learned how to treat with customers and deal with customers, and hospitality was good experience, but that wasn't I was going to have in my future.
Okay.
So when I turned to 30s, there's the bartender called Mr. Kishi that owns the Star Bar. Asked me to work for him as opening.
Okay. Okay.
So I moved to Star Bar, and a few years later, I serving cocktails and drinks and everything to the customers. And one day I realized there's no end of making cocktails.
Okay.
Because 20 years ago, I was asking, how's a drink?
Right.
Do you like a drink? Please let me know.
Yeah.
If you need anything, help, I can add anything, I can take out anything. So 10 years ago, still asking the same question. Today, still asking the same question, because my perfect balance and yours could be different.
Correct.
So some people like more sour, some people like more spirit-forward. It's different.
Subjective.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at least I need to be confident. This is well balanced, and I know what I'm doing as a professional. So to serve the cocktail, at least I need to be confident this is a good one. But as I said, the preference is always different.
Correct.
So 10 years later, maybe I'm still asking the same question. So this is no end to making cocktails. So one day I don't like to give up my own career on the way. If I know how my bartender should be, okay, bartending, I got it. I probably opened my coffee shop. It was my dream, But there's no end. So I don't want to give up on a career and on the way. So I decided to open my own bar instead of a coffee shop.
Okay.
That's the
story of the bar high five. That's when you opened your own.
Yes, when I turned to 40 years old.
Okay. Well, take us through the process. What made you open a bar called Bar High Five? Why do you call it High Five?
When I was a sophomore in university, I had a chance to go to the United States for exchange program. So I took a chance as experience.
Okay.
I've never been abroad.
Okay.
I'm from Hokkaido, big island in north in Japan.
Okay.
And moved to Tokyo for going to university. But I never been in overseas.
Okay.
So the very first my international flight was an exchange program.
Okay.
Spending two semesters.
Right.
So when the people typically open a bar, it's very popular to name after master's name.
Yes.
It's like a Bar Ueno. No, I didn't want to do that. Also popular to name after the name of bottle.
Yes.
Maybe Bar China or Bar anything, Hibiki.
Okay.
No. I don't want to do that. Also name after the location.
Yes.
Bar Ginza or Bar Tokyo or Hokkaido, Sapporo, something like this. That's too much. Okay, so I was looking for something unusual. And I used to play baseball from little league to high school. I play American football in university.
Oh, wow.
And I was in the United States for exchange program, watching baseball, American football. When something happened, something good happened.
Yes.
Okay, home run. High five.
Yes.
And I was in college. Anything good fun happened, high five.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty much friendly, pretty much fun. I also feel like victory.
Right.
So I named my bar high five.
Okay. A lot of the viewers of our podcast who listen or view the podcast are also bartenders who are very aspiring, right? Your mastery on the Japanese hard shake is legendary, right?
The founder of the hard shaking, it's not me.
Right.
It's a respectful old bartender. It's called Mr. Ueda from Tender Bar.
Okay.
And my master bartender, Mr. Kishi, was pretty much good relationship with him and learn how to philosophies, the way of thinking about what the purpose is and stuff.
Okay.
But they didn't work together.
Okay.
So Mr. Kishi was doing different way of heart shaking. That's what I learned.
Okay.
But luckily, those people doesn't speak any English.
Okay.
So the people ask me the behind the heart shaking.
Yeah.
What is the for? What is the how to do it? And I was a kind of person who can explain in English.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why people may be misunderstanding that I was a founder, but I want to correct it 100%.
You mastered the art.
Yeah, but so heart shaking is for us, for me and my master bartender, is part of the technique.
Okay.
We don't think it works for every single cocktails.
Okay.
So it's one of the technique we use it. Yeah, so it's not mine, but
Okay. Okay. So you have also traveled across the world, met a lot of bartenders. You've been to a lot of bars. Tell us some memorable experience what you have had in terms of bartending or the cocktail culture.
Sure. First of all, as I told you, I don't drink,
Yeah.
so I don't do much bars in
Right.
anywhere.
Anyway. Okay.
But sometimes my sponsor, my friends want me to take this place, that place. So I've been visiting many places. And the very first time in a guest bartending shift was in Amsterdam,
Okay.
Netherlands, a spa called Door 74.
270. Yes.
There was the person was called Timo Jens, was a head bartender. And I was, as a guest bartender nowadays, maybe 2 to 4 hours
Yes.
a day, longest maybe 4 hours.
Yeah.
It was full-time work
Whoa.
from beginning to the closing.
Okay.
2 days. That was so difficult. I thought it was never again. It's a full-time job.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like that was my first time. So I thought it was the guest bartending thing. It's just like a
Right.
full-time work. It's like that's guest bartending, yes.
Right.
Well, I didn't know what's happening. I didn't know what is going on in overseas and internationally. I didn't know anything.
Right.
Just a person asked me, okay, I go and give some menus. I went there, working all night long. It was so difficult. But I realized the good bartender is not related with the country. It's a person.
Right.
The good bartender everywhere in the world. The first time I amazed the bartender overseas was Timo. He was really smiley, having fun, talking to customer, and making drinks at the same time.
Right.
He's really good. And second day, the first day I was struggling at different stations, different setup.
Right.
I was struggling at doing this and doing that. I was having a difficult time. I didn't talk about that. But the second day, Timo set up what I was trying to make it up. It's like, you were having difficult time with doing this, so I made like this. Wow.
Right.
That was my first time. And the second time I impressed the bartender was in London.
Okay.
My sponsor wanted to visit some bars, and I went to Artisan Bar in Langham Hotel. Shimone was working at the night. Alex, unfortunately, went to Morocco or somewhere like this. He wasn't there. But
Okay.
Shimone was working. That's a massive hotel bar. Small bar counter, but so much table seat. And he was kind of only one bartender working and
Right.
behind the bar. He was sweating, still smiling to the customer, talking to customer in the bars, and and pointing, doing this and doing that at the same time, and still making cocktails. Like, wow, this guy is good. Yeah. So yeah, every time I go, sometimes I was very amazed, which is more how the bartender is hospitable. Not only techniques. It's not about the cocktail. It's how they work.
Yes.
So Japanese bartending in some point become very famous, very well known. But before we isolated the country, we didn't get influence any other country. Very very long time. Maybe I could say about 100 years.
Okay.
We are developing our own style.
Right.
So when I talk about it, I always explain Japanese bartending style as a Galapagos Island style.
Okay.
So I'm a bartender, you're a bartender, he's a bartender, she's a bartender, but we are different.
Right.
Same bartender, but different species. You know what I mean?
Right.
Developing our own styles and
Correct.
sticking on our own philosophy. Didn't get influence in a very long time. Nowadays, you know, the YouTube and social network and the things getting more borderless.
Yeah,
But
right.
I liked it. I liked to be in classic and Galapagos style.
Okay.
Yeah, in Japan.
Right.
Yeah, but
So-
it's not only. It's not about a country. It's about bartender.
But we have also heard a lot about the bartending culture there. I mean, someone was telling me that you work in a bar for a few years and then usually the owner of the bar hands over the bar to you and says, okay, you run it now, I want to move on and things. Is that true? Or what is the culture? I mean, how does the bartending community in Japan work with each other or open bars? How does that work?
The difference between Japan and the different countries, we usually don't have business partners,
Okay.
investors. We don't have.
Okay.
When you open the bar, it happens sometimes, but I don't see pretty much cases. In particular countries, if you go to the bar the next 3 months, the bartender is different.
Yes.
And 6 months, maybe 1 year, completely different person.
Yes.
But in Japan, if you find the right person, you stick in the place, same place,
Okay.
and use. We have lines, masters and apprentice lines.
Okay.
We don't usually cross out.
Okay. Okay.
So once you decide they're good enough or they really want to open their own place, it depends how long, but
Okay.
you go for loans, the government-related, the bank place,
Okay.
and then we made loan, and we opened the bar.
Bar on your
That
own, right.
you know, I like that way because
Yeah.
investors, you have to pay them the rest of your life,
Yeah.
and business partner. One day, bar is slow. They tell you how to run the bar.
Right.
But usually, Japanese bartender doesn't like to taught how to run the bar from non-bartenders.
Non-bar. Okay.
So I've seen few cases. I opened my own bar, but he left. It's like, what do you mean you left? You left from your own bar? What's that mean? He had a business partners.
Okay.
But in different countries, I was introduced their business partners and stuff, and they're very easy from different field, different industry. I don't know anything about the bartending, about how to run the bar, but I like this person, so I wanted to help to open the bar. So that kind of person works very well.
Right.
But Usually the person who pays to give the money also talk.
Okay. Great. Now the next question to you is, I think the last time you were in India was probably in 2014, I think.
It was a world-class global final
Yes.
in Delhi. Yes.
Delhi. And it's been 10 years. Now you're back in India.
Right.
Right? How do you see India now? How is Leela Palace, the hotel? I haven't been to southern part of India, I think, last time when you came.
I'm in a different city.
Right.
And it took me 10 years.
Right.
So things should be different than 10 years. Not only bartending, and culturally, society. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not in the same city.
But getting behind the bar and making a few drinks at the Kyoto style speakeasy bar in India.
I didn't feel any negative.
Okay.
I do guest bartending, takeover event, many different countries. But they are very passionate, promising young bartenders help me all night long. And I wanted to always to share what I got. I have nothing to hide.
Right.
So anything what they want to know, what they want to be taught, I just answer the questions. And this time, I didn't have a requirement for trained bartenders or a master class or anything. Just 2 nights, but just going behind the bar, maybe 10-15 minutes before finish and leave. That's okay. That was the things I was asked for. But the bartender wants to learn, wants to know. But sometimes some country, the bartender is shy to ask. So I recently tried to ask, do you want to know anything about? Do you need anything I brought from Japan or something like this? And they usually have something they really want to know and stuff. So we make a time, just a couple of hours.
Okay.
It's good fun.
So if there's one piece of advice you would like to give to the aspiring bartenders today, what would that be?
I used to say one word, patient.
Patient.
But nowadays maybe a different era, different, I used to give it only one word, but maybe it doesn't work anymore for younger generations.
I think the attention span with using Instagram and all of that is getting lesser and lesser, so people are losing patience.
Yeah, it's like when I start American football, I'm from countryside. That was the only way I can watch. It was the college bowl games in the New Year. Beautiful uniform, beautiful stadium. They're playing very well and stuff. But once you start playing, you sweat all the time. You get dirty all the time. It's totally different.
Yes.
Totally different. It's the same thing. You watching a YouTube video, the social network video, whatever it is, it's only part of your job. Your stage is open, but before the stage is open, there's a lot of hours, that you have to deal with. Even the stage is up, maybe you need to wash glasswares and prepare maybe many months.
Right.
So in some country I've been, they want to go way too fast. In 1 year you want to become head bartender, 3 years maybe bar manager, and 5 years you want to become a brand ambassador.
Yes.
You know, it took me about 10 years to make the drinks to customers properly. You know,
Wow.
in any places, a different way. So my 20s as a bottle service bar. So I just joined the cocktail competitions and stuff. But it took me a few years to serve the cocktail to the customer directly. Shaking is not only a back and forth at up and down,
Yes.
and the stirring not only a roaring in the mixing glass. It's a chemical reaction and stuff like this, you know. So until you get to know, it takes a little while.
You need to invest the time and learn the skill.
You have to think,
Yeah.
and you have to imagine how, because I absolutely don't taste the cocktail after shake and stir. I taste before shake and stir. And some people ask me, well, what it's going to do if you over diluted or the short diluted? Well, I'm a professional. It doesn't happen. I know what I'm doing. You know. Right after I finish shaking and stirring, I want to serve as fast as possible.
Got it.
Garnish. Most of the cocktail I serve in back in the high five, no garnish.
No garnish.
It's just simple zest or something, the cherry, olive. That's it.
Nice.
Not really
That
fancy.
brings me to the question. I mean, I still haven't got a chance to visit your bar, but I will soon, hopefully. There is no menu at your bar at Bar Hi-Fi. So how do you build the consumer experience? And what is it?
We don't have a menu. So we are happy to make a classic cocktails if they want to. But my bar mainly 97% from overseas.
Okay.
Mostly international.
Okay.
And I have a few heavy regulars.
Okay.
So the person from outside wants to have something unusual, that things that you can't get in the back in the country.
Okay.
So we try to focus on local ingredients, local flavors.
Okay.
But I
Can
want
you give me an example of maybe a drink?
Like a cherry blossom flavors, and next week we're having cherry blossom season in Tokyo, but very local green tea, some fresh ingredients made in Japan, something like this.
Okay.
Interesting, maybe it's an interesting part of my cocktail. Once I have a combination of the flavors, it could be citrusy, refreshing, but it also could be a spirit forward without citrus juice.
Okay.
And the base spirit could be gin, could be brandy, could be whiskey, could be anything. But usually the cocktail has a certain base spirit, refreshing or spirit forward.
Okay.
But my cocktail has so many different variety with one name of the cocktail.
Okay.
So it's good. We have
So how many people are there in your team at Bar?
my team. I have a head bartender working for me more than 13 years.
Wow.
That is one full time.
Okay.
From April, hopefully, I get one more full-time employee.
Okay.
I have a few part-time.
Okay.
And right now, I have 3 interns.
3 interns. Okay. Okay.
So team is big, but once they are going home, the full-time is only me and my head bartender. So I need to set. You know. Yeah, the team is sometimes big, sometimes difficult to learn with short hands.
Okay. Ueno-san,
Yes.
the next question is nothing to do with bartending.
Okay.
I want to know, what do you do during your pastime? What are your hobbies?
Okay.
I think we've spoken a lot about bartending, but just want to see the other side of what
Sure.
Ueno-san is.
Pretty much bowling for the part.
Okay.
When I was 30s, 20 years ago, aquarist, raising water plants,
Wow.
tropical fishes. I was a breeder.
Okay.
I liked it very much.
Okay.
But things getting busier and busier, and I didn't have time.
Okay.
So I stopped aquarium stuff
Okay.
since I opened my own place. So I go overseas and back and forth. Sometimes I only have a 2 hours gap
Okay.
back to Japan
And towards your back to work. Okay.
to go other places. So sometimes I'm away from the country.
Okay.
So I cannot take care of the live fish or anything. So right now, hobby. I say no hobby. Maybe so boring. Right? Maybe if I don't have anything, I don't have much free time. I work very long hours every day. And I have a deep involved bartending association.
Okay.
So I work for it. So sometimes Sunday events and meetings and stuff. So I don't have anything to do. Sleep.
Okay.
I'm getting old.
Okay.
I'm becoming 56 next week.
Oh, next week is your birthday. Wow. Okay. 56. Great.
So yeah, nothing really.
Now that brings me to another question.
Yes.
If I asked you, how should bartenders think about work-life balance? There's so much talk about work, life, and then balance between
Right,
life,
right.
How do you see it? You have been in the industry for years.
Okay, that part,
Yeah.
I'm not really winner. I'm a kind of loser to make my life balanced, because Japanese bartenders work very long hours, many days, with less salary.
Okay.
So I could say nearly every time you are at work.
Okay. So when you have not taken a holiday at all?
What's that mean? Holiday?
Okay.
I wish I could.
Okay.
The autumn in 2020, I was going to pay all my loans back. I was going to step back a little bit, maybe 1 week holiday, or not standing in front of behind the bar every night, to make someone else. Maybe I talk to the customers more and stuff. But then COVID hit, and I made a huge loan. It's more than the amount of the building my bar.
Okay.
So I'm a king of loan right now.
Okay.
So I have to work properly.
Okay.
Maybe next 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So I will be 60 years old.
Okay.
And people in certain time, maybe just before COVID, people start asking me, when you retire? It's like, retired? Never thought about it.
Right.
Because a Japanese bartender never retired. You have to keep going.
Right.
So that was pretty much strange question, but At the same time, I feel like, I'm getting old. Yeah, you don't ask when you retire or when you're 30s or anything,
Correct.
So
I agree with you.
yeah.
Anyway, not going to ask you when you're going to retire, but if there is one city or a destination which you would love to go back to.
Yeah. To be
But
honest,
all the things
I've
is what it is.
never been, but I wish I could be there to become a no one. So no bar related.
Okay.
I'm from north, so
Okay.
I never seen white sand, the blue green ocean.
Okay. Okay.
The knees. You walk to the ocean.
Yeah.
Long time. Well, my home. If you do three steps, it goes like this.
Okay.
So I've never seen such a beautiful oceans. So the cottage on the ocean, something like this is it's probably my last wish.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a bartender. I'm not a daytime person. It's under the sun. So no. It's like a Dracula,
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know how I can spend because if I have nothing to do, I don't feel comfortable.
Okay. Okay.
I like to be busy. That's very bad habit. I got in the last 30 years. In a shift, even I have a 1 minute. I don't have an order. It's like I can't be patient. Where's my order? Where's my order?
Understood.
Maybe I should wash. So I want to do something, But these boys and no. We do it for you. Okay.
Understood. All right. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being part of this podcast and taking out time and answering all our questions.
Oh, that's
And
my
we would
honor.
love to have you back in India again. I
Oh.
think since you already said that this time when you came in, you did not do a master class. And I'm sure a lot of bartenders who are watching this podcast would love to listen to you about everything about bartending and
Sure.
your techniques and all of that. But I'm sure we will be able to get some information from this podcast as well.
All
Look
right.
forward to seeing you here. Have a safe trip back.
I will do so. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.